And at first I streamed in my room, but then I was like, why am I streaming in my room when I have to clean it up every single time I stream? What if I just move my setup to my brother's room so I don't have to clean it every day? It's the best thing I've ever done. Because honestly, if I didn't do this, I probably wouldn't be able to be in Hafu's morning lobbies. I couldn't wake up that early to clean up before every stream. Are you kidding me? One time, I was always in my room playing MapleStory. So they planned this whole thing to scare me. They wanted me to go off my computer, go to the window and open the blinds, and then it was nighttime, and they would all like jump scare me in like black outfits. So I got off MapleStory. I opened my blinds, and then I see them all there, and they like jump scare me. But for some reason, I just wasn't scared. I don't know why. I just wasn't scared. I just looked at them, and I'm like, and I just went back to playing MapleStory. Okay, my freshman year of college, I had this huge crush on this guy. His name was Steven. We did everything together. We spent like the whole first 2 months of college together. We pulled all-nighters together. He serenaded to me. He played guitar. We watched the sunrise together. We like walked out in the morning dew together. We walked like throughout campus. We went to like clubs together. He was really good in chemistry, so he would help me with chemistry. He was really smart, and I had like a thing for him. And everyone was like, oh my god, they're always together and stuff. I had a big crush on him. The only thing is that I was super tsundere. I was so tsundere. Like, I still am kind of tsundere, but not as tsundere anymore. But like, I was so tsundere. So he had no idea I liked him, and apparently my entire dorm didn't either. So they told him, yo, dude, like, Kimmy's so not into you, like, don't even try. Like, I would just back off, man. Like, she doesn't seem interested. So nothing happened. And then we kind of grew apart, and then I just started playing MapleStory. And then for the rest of my freshman year, I just played MapleStory. And I stopped hanging out with Steven. So then the next year, our dorm had a little reunion where we all had a kickback together, and everyone from the dorm was invited. Steven wasn't there, but my other dorm mates were there. And then they were like, oh, dude, you know what's crazy? Steven had the biggest crush on you freshman year, but like, we told him you were like so not into him. And I'm like, but I liked him. I liked him though. They're like, oh, uh-oh. And by this time he was already dating somebody else. And I'm like, you guys suck. Y'all suck. So then by the end of so the second year of college, I got really depressed. I'm not sure why, but I got really depressed. So I just remember being sad all the time playing MapleStory every single day. So my grades went down, I had no social life, and I was just like always sad. So by the end of my second year of college, I knew something had to change. So I ended up uninstalling MapleStory. I uninstalled everything, and I'm like, you know what? My third year, I'm gonna join clubs. I'm going to study and uninstall everything. So I legit uninstalled everything after my second year. And then my third year, I joined a community service fraternity. I joined like all these other clubs. I like went to all these different things. My grades shot up. I ended up changing my major. I met so many friends and my life got a lot better. So yeah. But I got my dad's hand-me-down car. It was like 10 years old, but still. It was a Mercedes-Benz E320. Mercedes E320. It was a black Mercedes. And it was like it was like a heavy boy. It was like a big heavy boy. My first car. I'm like rolling up 17 years old. Actually no, I was 19. 19 years old with a Mercedes E320. Everyone was like, wow. But then my fourth year, so I only had it for like 1 year. My fourth year, it broke down. Apparently, the control system within the car got recalled years prior, but we never caught it. So the control system within my car stopped working. It broke down. Basically, a part got recalled. So thank God I was in the parking lot. So I was just backing out of my parking lot spot and the brakes didn't work. Nothing worked. So I completely plowed into the poor little Honda behind me. Because literally like my brakes and nothing worked. And then for some reason it didn't register in my head what happened. So I drove forward again to park, but my brakes weren't working. So I plowed into the bush in front of me. Like there's like a curb with a bush, and I like plowed over the curb into the bush, and then my car just shut down. And I'm like, wow, that was the first time, chat. That was the first time I had a near-death experience, because I was about to drive to work on the freeway. So I'm like, oh my God, if the control system broke down 10 minutes later, I would have died. I'm like, oh my God, I would have died. Or if my dad still drove that car, he only drives it to work, so he would have died. And I'm like, ah! Thank God the only thing that died was that poor Honda behind me. That thing got destroyed. Dude, Mercedes are made out of like tank material. Like the metal they use to make a Mercedes-Benz, it's like a freaking tank. Because my car barely got like a scratch and a dent, but that I took out half of that Honda. So, thank God it was parked though. I wish my brother got a Tesla, but he got a Mercedes. He got a 2-seater Mercedes. He got like a cute little 2-seater, and my parents were like, why did you get a 2-seater? That's so not practical. And he's like, it's for the ladies. He's like, but yeah, so my brother's like, yeah, after I get matched on Tinder or whatever I use, Kippo, then gotta drive up to her place in my car, you know? I think he's still single though, so I don't know how well that's working, but okay, so my brother works at Google. He's a developer. He was doing so well that he convinced them to only let him work 4 days a week. He took the pay cut to only work 4 days a week, and I believe they even let him work from home either all 4 of those days or at least like 2 of them. Something like that. Oh yeah, Steve. Steve is also he's also almost getting brother zone too. He's definitely in that area. He's in the brother zone region right now. He's making his way there. Okay, so my brother studied, God, I forgot his majors. I don't know. Every time I say it on stream, my mom's listening and she always happens to catch me every time I say his major, and she always is like, he didn't study that, and I'm like, I don't freaking remember what he studied. I'm gonna take a wild guess here. He studied something in biology. I want to say neuroscience, something like that, and he also doubled in psychology, and I think he minored in philosophy. Just put his credentials and his contacts on your phone. Yeah, see, I I would have to message him to see what he majored in, and he would have to respond. So that's where it gets difficult at that part. Yeah. I genuinely think that they were just both the nerdiest people in the friend group, so they just like nerded out together and did Rubik's Cube together. I think that's what the story was. Like Edison to this day is like, Kimmy, your brother is the biggest nerd I've ever met in my life. Like, he's a fucking nerd. Like, he's a nerd. He nerds out. Oh my god. What got me into ASMR? Okay, I saw this question a few times today. Leslie linked me some ASMR videos, and I'm like, ooh, this feels good. And I'm like, I wonder if I can do this too. So then I had a Blue Yeti, and I was like, wait, okay, so if I talk really close in this Yeti, then will it sound good? And I'm like, I don't know. So then I like tried it, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna try it, you know? I just want to see if I can do it too. And I'm like, hello. And I was like, oh. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, how about tapping? And I'm like, and then once I tried tapping with the 3DO and it sounded really good, I'm like, oh my god, I think I can do ASMR too. So then I just filmed the video and I uploaded it and I forgot about it. And then 3 months later I check back and it has like hundreds of thousands of views. And I'm like, ugh, what? Why? I never intended for this to happen. I just started making videos, and then people kept on asking for more videos, and I'm like, you can just replay the old ones. It's like, it's the same thing. I do the same thing every video. And they're like, make more, and I'm like, why? So I'm like, okay. So I'm just making videos, and to this day, I just feel like I'm just making videos every week. I don't feel like an ASMR artist. I don't feel like a YouTuber. I just feel like I'm just making videos. I'm like, well, if you guys like it. How come you aren't a part of offline TV? Because me and Leslie have Kimsley, okay? We weren't a part of offline because, you know, at that time, me and Leslie were lit YouTubers ourselves. We are in a group called Kimsley. And you know what? When Skara created offline TV, he said that Kimsley inspired him to create offline TV. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that insane? Isn't that crazy? Oh, also, do not look up Kimsley. Whatever you do, do not look up Kimsley on YouTube. You're gonna regret it. You're gonna regret it because I'm gonna ban you if you ever talk about it. I'm kidding. Just kidding. And to a degree, I'd say I'm still kind of in a similar position where, you know, sure, I found streaming, and sure, like, things seem like they're like going pretty good right now, but at the end of the day, I never know. Never know what's gonna happen. Just gotta try your best. Just keep trying your best and keep learning. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna keep on trying to learn and keep on trying my best. That's all we can do. If you're, I don't mean to make you guys sad or anything if you're experiencing that. It gets better. It'll get better. Just give it time. It's really hard also in this pandemic, but it gets better. Don't give up. What's stopping you from dating somebody? COVID? No, but I'd say I have been single a lot of my life because if I don't feel like I have myself figured out, if I'm not happy with myself, then whoever falls in love with me isn't falling in love with the person I want to be or I'm happy with or proud of. So I feel like I wanted to get to a place in my life where I am at least happy with myself am proud of who I am. And I still have like a lot of room to grow, obviously, but at least the baseline is there. I actually think for the majority of my life, I didn't even have like a happy baseline. I'd say COVID and doing therapy all throughout last year, being COVID, also surrounding myself with great people, helped me reach that baseline of like being happy with who I am and pretty sure of who I am. So yeah. I genuinely think that like the reason why I didn't date was because I'm like, if you fall in love with me, you don't even know me, because I don't even like this version of me. So you're falling in love with a version of me I don't even like. So you're falling in love with somebody who's not even me, who I don't even want to be. So I don't know. But I've never said I'm single when I'm actually dating somebody. So I never lie about it. It's just that when I am dating somebody, I just don't say anything. I just ignore the relationship questions. What? Anyway, look at this game. Woo! Peter, what are you up to? At the end of the day, guys, it doesn't matter if you're with somebody or without somebody. You know, they don't complete you. They will never complete you. So I have dated a few people in the past years. I used to think I was super asexual. I used to think that I hated any intimacy, like physical touch. I thought I hated like anything like cheesy. Turns out I freaking love romance and I love physical touch. That's like my number one. Like honestly, why even date somebody if you can't enjoy the perk of dating somebody, which is like cuddling and hugging? Like, come on! Why date then? You can't do that to a bro. Well, I mean, you can, actually. Okay, I guess you can't kiss a bro. Well, I mean, unless you want to. I mean, it's fine if you want to. But, like, I mean, you can. But you know what I mean! You know what I mean. But you don't need an SO. You don't need one. And I think it's a good mentality to have for the rest of our lives, that we don't need somebody. Yeah, we do need somebody, but like, you know, we don't rely on them, you know? We don't rely on them to like be alive, to be functioning. You are your own independent human being with your own thoughts, emotions, values, needs, and life to live, you know? Whether a girl or guy is next to you or not, that doesn't change who you are and what you're gonna do with your life and who you are as a person, you know? Oh yeah, but you can't ask me that, Diego. Am I Angel's Kimmy's sister? No. I made Angel's Kimmy, okay? Okay? No. I am not Angel's Kimmy's sister. Don't ask me that. Thank you. Not gonna lie, I used to think Peter and Edison were brothers. You're not the only one. Have you ever thought about moving to the EU? Nope. The thing is, if my family and friends move to EU, then like hell yeah, I'm down. Like, get me out of America. Get me out of here. But the time difference and the isolation I would feel would just be too lonely. Get an EU boyfriend? Honestly, I mean, I'm not against it. EU accents are very sexy. I've done long distance relationships before, like my Maple Story boyfriends. Yeah, they're okay. We AFK'd next to each other in Maple Story. We had crush rings. What career would you pursue if you didn't stream? What country do you want to visit that you haven't been to? Japan! I can't believe I haven't been to Japan yet, dude. I can't believe it. The person outside my family that has had the most impact on my life has probably been George, Hotshot GG. From my short time living with him last year, he's just so into philosophy and business and life, and I got diagnosed with ADHD when I lived with him, and he also has ADHD, so I learned a lot about that stuff. So I'd say he helped me through a lot of stuff. What are your secret skills? I can make my tongue do this. Can you guys do that? It's like an S. Literally I just wanted to help in life, really, and like how to balance my life and stuff. And then as I talked with my therapist every week, a few months into it, she's like, yeah, so by the way, would you be open to like scheduling an appointment with a psychiatrist about like potentially maybe like having ADD? And I'm like, me? I don't have ADD. I don't have ADHD. What? And she's like, yeah, well, I mean, just talking with you every week, a lot of the things I say and struggle with, kind of all points in the same direction. So she's like, we're just getting checked out. So I'm like, okay. So I scheduled an appointment with a psychiatrist, and then he instantly was like, yeah, so you have ADD, and it's this type, and this is why. And he started talking about like my entire life history without me even saying anything. He's like, this is probably what happened when you were young. This is probably what you went through. This is probably what you experienced. This is probably the things that you struggle with. This is probably blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh my God, everything he's saying, he was right. And I'm like, okay, maybe I might have it. It was actually really relieving when I found out I had it, because I'm like, well, at least I can do something about it now. whether you're stressed, whether you're anxious, or like whether you're, I don't know, just means you're a human being. We're all struggling with something, you know? Therapy is beneficial to everyone, because learning about yourself is the best way to start improving yourself. So whether you need it or you don't, I think everyone benefits from therapy, so highly recommend it. Thanks for coming, you guys. It's been a good stream. Y'all are great. Keep being cool, people. See you guys soon. Thanks for coming. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Have a good day.